What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Baddog here with a New York Giants draft recap video. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. Do me a favor, hit the like button. It helps out the video huge. Also, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell. There'll be a lot of Giants content coming here probably in the next couple of weeks. And then obviously during the football season, that's all I'll be doing. So hopefully you guys will like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. I'm not giving a grade to the New York Giants draft. I've done that probably the last couple of years, and I give a grade. And let's be honest, I don't know how the hell to grade a draft. I don't know what a grade is. I don't know how to put a letter grade on something. I don't even know what these players are going to be under a new regime with a new GM that we have no idea what his vision is for the Giants. I will tell you this. I was extremely excited for night one. I loved the two players that we got. Again, a couple months before the draft, they were the consensus number 1 and number 2 picks in the draft. Those guys easily could have went number 1, number 2 overall. The fact that the Giants are able to get Thibodeaux and Neal, two major needs, and two absolutely great players at those two positions on the line of scrimmage in huge roles. A bookend tackle and a beast pass rusher. I was thrilled. I loved it. You saw the reaction if you were in the live streams. We had a blast. It was a great night. Obviously, day 2 changed things for a lot of Giants fans. And I mentioned this in the live stream. It was no matter who we took, it was going to be anticlimactic. We could not top what we did day 1. Were there some head-scratching picks? Of course there were. There's going to be head-scratching picks, guys that I'm like, why did we take them, or other fans? Because we all have our idea of the players that we like as fans, or the players that we do our research on. Say, I like this guy, I like that guy, I think he fits here, I think he fits there. And that's fantastic. We're all entitled to our opinion. We're all entitled to get mad or think that something was a reach or think that something was a good value or we missed on a position or why did we trade back? I mean, as fans, if something doesn't go our way, and even if it does maybe, we'll always question, hey, why didn't they do this and why didn't they do that? And especially with the last 5 years here, with the last 2 regimes between Reese at the end of his tenure and Gettleman's disgraceful tenure here, we're going to be jaded as a fan base. There is no question about that. And me, of all people, to sit here and try to tell people patience is pretty funny because, me, I am impatient. I've said that before. I'm reactionary. But I was very patient with Dave Gettleman. And I gave Gettleman, I said I would give him a few years to see what he could do. He took over a terrible situation. 2 years into his tenure, we knew he was bad. And the Giants were not getting any better. So you got to give Joe Schoen and Dable, Brandon Brown, you got to give these guys at least a couple of years. Remember, they also took over a horrendous situation with little cap space and maneuverability to bring in free agents. And you have to trust that their vision of what they think the Giants is best for the New York Giants as far as turning the corner and getting them to succeed, they're doing throughout the draft. No matter who we like as players, you got to understand we're not running the team. They are. It's their vision. We have our own vision, but at the end of the day, we don't get to make that decision. And I say this all the time. There's a reason that they are where they are, and there's a reason we are where we are. We don't have the jobs in the NFL for a reason. These guys do more film study, and they have, all the things that they need at their disposal. So they're going to know a little bit better than we are. They're going to know the inner workings of the NFL, and they have the scouting departments and everything else to scout these players. And somebody made a great point in the live stream that this is not Joe Schoen's scouting department. He won't have that till next year because people start, the Giants scouting department starts scouting before he was the GM. So that's not his scouting department. So again, kind of maybe even brings him back another year. This is a buffer year. The one thing you got to understand is, number one, not every pick in the draft is going to be a home run. Without a doubt, that's not going to happen. It's rare that you get one home run. There's a lot of top 10 picks that miss. We can speak from experience, Giants fans. We have missed a lot of first-round picks in the last 7-8 years, which is why we're in the situation we're in. But if you can find some players in day 2 or day 3 that become starters for you and productive, you've hit on those picks. There's a reason those guys slip all the way into the third, fourth, fifth, sixth round, because a lot of teams pass them, not just the Giants. Are there better players available according to rankings and all this other stuff when we look at the PFF rankings or the NFL rankings or the grades? And all, of course, but that's all perspective. They all come from different people. And they don't take into consideration the fact that, okay, you're just looking at, what are you looking at when you grade these guys if you're PFF? Just overall talent, but do they really look at the scheme and say, oh, well, this player is ranked 160th overall. The Giants took him 90th overall. That's a reach. But what if the guy that's 160th overall fits the Giants as a 90th overall pick? Like, what if that value at 160 for the guy at PFF is 90th for the Giants, or 81st, or 67th, or whatever you want to say? So, yeah, we all have our favorites. We all have players that they wanted to take. I know me, when they took Wan'Dale Robinson, I was like, what? I know, because I'm like, man, we got to get, I'm just looking at Petre, I'm looking at Brisker. I'm thinking of Kobe Dean, not realizing that Kobe Dean had all the injury questions that he had, which dropped him into the third round. And, there was definitely guys that I wanted to, but at the same time, I'm not going to get upset over day 2 and day 3 picks. You can say, oh, you got pissed off over Daniel Jones. Yeah, because that was our 6th overall pick. If the Giants would have, again, I wasn't going to throw a fit this year because I know we have a lot of needs and it's a new regime, but if they would have taken Kenny Pickett at 5 or Sam Howell or somebody like that, I would have thrown a fit. Malik Willis, I wouldn't have, because even though Malik Willis was the 3rd quarterback off the board, he was kind of the consensus number 1 quarterback in the draft, right? So if the Giants went that route, I wouldn't have been happy, but I would not have got upset. Daniel Jones was not the number 1 consensus overall quarterback in 2019. So that's why I had the reaction that I had that night. But, day 2, day 3, we have to wait and see. These guys haven't even taken the field yet. So we don't know what they're going to be as Giants. Maybe they fail. Maybe we found a gem in day 3. Maybe we didn't. But the Giants are not going to turn this franchise around in 1 year. This is a rebuild. Dave Gettleman rebuilt wrong. You can't try to win a rebuild at the same time. You really have to tear it down and start at the foundation and start building your guys up. And you have to be able to get your plan in place and your vision in place, the players that you feel are going to be the best for your situation and your vision. So we have to trust, and I know that's a hard word to take here with the Giants fan base because I don't trust our owner one bit, but we have to at least give him a chance. If you don't want to use the word trust, as we were talking about in the stream, you don't want to trust Joe Schoen yet, as my man Bill M says, they've given us no reason to trust him. He's right. We have to allow them to give us reason to trust him before we don't trust him, I guess is what I'm looking at. Overall with the draft, I was extremely happy with day 1. Could not have went better. Absolutely thrilled. Day 2, I can't say I was thrilled. Nobody knocked my socks off. Day 3, I don't even really know what I'm looking at as far as round 5 prospects. To me, that's pretty much put your names in a hat and hope that you pick a winner. And the more picks that you have in the back end of the draft, the more likely you are to find that diamond in the rough. But it is hard to find those guys later in the draft. And if you hit on them, like I said, that's where the GMs really make their money, where the scouting departments and the GMs and all these guys in the front office make their money, when you can find superstars that late in the draft. But it's not easy to do that. So again, I know it's weird coming from me. I get it. But I would say, Giants fans, we got to be patient with this. We can't get overblown on the draft. We don't even know what the Giants are going to be this year. If Joe Schoen has 2 really poor years like Dave Gettleman did, and we see drafts like this, then I would say, yeah, then you can give him hell. I think that at that point, I think that's fair. I think after 2 years, if the team has shown no improvement and his draft picks have failed, and then we question what the hell he's doing, then I think you can question. I think criticism's fair, but I think right now he's never been a GM. We don't know what he's doing yet. I think we got to at least give him the opportunity to see. At least give him the opportunity to succeed or fail before we make a judgment on what the hell he picked. That's just my opinion. But again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I always say this, Giants fans, there's just tens of millions of Giants fans. And we're never going to agree on what we think is best for the team. But we always do want what is best for the team. And hopefully, Joe Schoen and company want what's best for the Giants too. And hopefully they're the ones that find out what's best for this Giants team and we don't have to deal with the garbage that we dealt with for the last 5 years. That's all we can hope for. I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you that hung out with Chris and I for the week. You know, the midday shows all week long and then all weekend for the draft meant a lot to us. We had big crowds on all those streams. Really appreciate the constant support you guys and girls show. It was a great weekend. It was a fun draft. Look forward to doing it again next year. Looking forward to the mini camps and looking forward to training camp and preseason and the football season. And let's see what the hell we got. Maybe we're starting to build something. Maybe we're moving off on the right foot and we can start to build something here with Big Blue. And in a couple of years, we can talk about how great these drafts were. That's all we can hope for. Anyway, that's all I got in this video. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. I'm going to take the rest of the night off and probably tomorrow too because I'm exhausted. And I'll see you next time. It's Bad Dig Dizzle. I'm out. Peace.